The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, Paige. Good. How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico Haan and Paige Clarke.
Good morning, I'm Nico Haan. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced, natural, wild world.
To recover our natural health and regain our rights and freedoms. And I'm Paige Clarke. Good morning.
And it's a beautiful morning in downtown Clearwater, 63 degrees and about 61 degrees in the studio. So.
Right, it is kind of chilly. Yeah, it's going to be nice here. I mean, this whole weekend was beautiful, I think.
Fantastic, yeah. That's what we've been waiting for.
Right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks, Nico. Yeah.
29, huh?
That's right. Well, I'm celebrating some anniversary of that birthday. I'll just keep on doing it, though. I don't
right.
mind. Yeah. It's a beautiful birthday. Yeah. Glad to be here. And did I tell you that my son got up at 4:44 and fixed me breakfast before I left this morning?
He's a prince.
Yep. He had it all laid out and played the Dixie Chick song, Landslide, and Wide Open Spaces. And he says, I wanted to do something special for my mom. And, little stuff like that is much better than any little thing you could open up.
Yeah. If you have any questions, any thoughts for the show, please contact us at Nico at TFNN.com.
And me at Paige at TFNN.com. And, we're here to take your questions and have you join in on the conversation. Give us a call at 1-877-927-6648.
We know that the flu is a natural healing crisis most commonly caused by chronic acidification of the body chemistry to different lifestyle risks.
Hey, there you go. I mean, that's just a whole different approach. How many people really believe that? And I love that picture you have. Maybe you can put it up for the people. I love this. Kiss a pig for immunity, and that pig is saying, sure glad I got a vaccination against the toddler flu. That's so cute.
So the flu season occurs between Halloween running through Christmas and New Year's. It's not simply the change in weather. It's the acid assault against natural immunity from sugar and dairy poisoning, all that candy, cake, cookies, ice cream, and the government officials and the flu shots and all that stuff, I think has something to do with it, huh?
Well, I think so. And again, we have to remember that it's not the food that's inherently bad for us. It's what we do to the food.
Yeah.
So, yes, I mean, what we do to the food, I don't even consider most candies and sweets like that and processed sugars as foods. But when we talk about dairy products, I want to preface that with the majority of the dairy products that the American people are eating are the processed dairy products. They have added to it. If you were possibly getting raw dairy from that farm like that little baby probably gets, then I don't think there'd be such a problem.
Kissing the pig is no problem in that case.
But it is interesting. So it's excessive caffeine, it's excessive stress, it's excessive nicotine and sugar and alcohol. So we've got this acid bath.
Yeah, and also
the cells are being exposed. Pharmaceuticals.
Pharmaceutical. It says here consuming lots of red meats.
Meaning conventional processed
meats. And then intoxication by foreign proteins. And these are probably things that they put in the processed foods that we have so prolific in our society today.
So maybe what's actually happened, I like the way you opened that up, is that the flu is actually like a fall cleaning, a fall or spring cleaning. It's the body says, whoa, there's just way too much stuff in here that I don't need. It's time to purge.
Well, I like what the article here says. It sort of begins right around Halloween. And this is when we really, especially children, get an assault. And, of course, then it runs through the schools. The teachers get it, the parents get it, and everybody kind of gets it.
Because the immune system, and that's what we're going to share with you a little bit today, is that it really is about fortifying your fort, building your immune system, and doing cleansing. And cleansing is very immune building in itself and helping. It's like saying, hey, I know I need to do a little housekeeping, so I might as well get started. And so what's key is not to suppress your body's natural healing process by taking toxic medications that only suppress symptoms. That can be anything from over-the-counter pharmaceuticals to vaccines to anything that really stops the body from doing what its natural course is. And, by avoiding products like dairy products and refined carbohydrates, when you have the flu, you'll heal much faster. Of course, you have to drink plenty of healthy water. It's very important.
No doubt about it. So, what's your take on the flu shot?
Well, I do not believe in the flu shot. I don't believe in vaccination.
Right.
Let's put it this way. I would support vaccinations if we had safe vaccinations.
Okay.
But we don't have safe. They've never been proven safe, and they've never even been proven effective. So I'm more about supporting the immune system and using things such as homeoprophylaxis for vaccinations. But getting specifically to the flu shot, the research on the flu shot, I believe, is poor at best. On its effectiveness. It's extremely dangerous. There's been more deaths since we introduced the flu shot. So from that standpoint, I think it's important that we get exposure to some of the things that we can do other than the flu shots, since by reading an insert, you would have to be sort of insane to get one after you read it. But do you think many people actually read the insert before they go to their doctor?
Probably not. The advertising for flu shot is everywhere. Most drugstores give it have the little stand there where you can just go and wait.
But they get reimbursed pretty handsomely for those.
They do.
Yes.
Yes. We don't.
No, exactly. And, so we're reading an article, and this person's pretty opinionated about, immunity and vaccinations. But I think this was written by Leonard Horowitz. And he's a rather outspoken person who was among the first people to identify the dangers of the flu shot and other vaccinations, among other things. He's really a rather prolific person that's worth checking out. But, he says taking or prescribing antibiotics for the flu reflects medical malpractice and even gross criminal negligence. He is a medical doctor. He's a dentist.
Yeah, and I think most doctors will tell you that, although a lot of doctors do prescribe shots for that if you go in.
I think that the reason doctors give shots or flus is because they're told that that's good for people, and I don't think there's any doctor that wants to do things that are bad for people.
I wouldn't think so.
I don't want to believe that for 1 minute, but I do believe that they get so busy with their practices that they just continue to do what is the standard of care, and that makes them feel safe. But it's quite obvious that some of these things aren't safe. Another thing, doctors know that the flus are said to be caused by viruses that require toxic antiviral drugs to combat, and not antibacterial antibiotics, which is commonly prescribed. When someone gets sick, they go and their doctor gives them an antibiotic, but that's not what was needed.
Okay, so we're going to be discussing this in the next segment, and it's really important to start your day off right. So recommend everybody, especially during this flu season coming up, pick up some Primal Edge, try it out for a month if you wish, but really get on the bandwagon, get it every single month.
Fortify your fort.
That's right, $89 gets you to your door every single month, and you're going to have enough to do the
stay
whole
healthy.
month. Yeah, stay healthy for sure. So pick that up. Please pick up our Health Signals newsletter, and we'll continue with the flu shot.
Flu things to do.
TFNN shot. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, oil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Nico and Paige take your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back to Living a Primal Lifestyle. Nico and I are talking today about some flu things to do, things you can do to keep you away from the flu. And some of the stuff we're sharing today, I got from Dr. Len Horowitz. He's a dentist. He's probably one of the most foremost outspoken people on natural health. He's got a master's in public health and is quite the prolific product formulator. He uses, he did a lot of studying about the healing musical frequencies. Has some great books out there and tips on how to stay healthy. So we were talking about the fact that that prescribing antibiotics is not a good move because most flus are viral in nature, right. And that the use and abuse of antibiotics for the flu really is polluting our ecosystem. It's killing plants and animals and sterilizing our guts because it's getting in our water supply, so it's decreasing our immunity. And doctors should learn and respect some of the, these common sense things about the flu, such as how and I know the argument, that when your immune system is low from a viral infection, you can catch a secondary infection on top. Well, let's fortify the immune system beforehand so we can breeze.
So you're talking about pneumonia and things like that can crop up afterwards.
Bacterial pneumonia could afterwards, and that is a threat if you're, but I think it's better to culture for that than to assume it's there. Yeah. Because then you wipe out the gut, after that.
A lot of people just run out and get the flu shots. A lot of people I hear are saying, well, my diet isn't that good, so I'll just get the flu shot to play it safe.
But the results show that it's really not that effective, and perhaps is creating a lower immune system in all of us that get them. There's other additives to the flu shot. I mean, of course, it's up to you, but that's what we're fighting for today, is the right to choose what's the right thing for you. And the big issue with vaccinations and these kind of things is that we really don't know what type of detoxification system you or I have, and whether or not you're able to handle the flu shot and the exposure that you may be getting. We know that detoxification, your ability to detox, can really affect your health.
So one of the first things that I think of when we talk about the flu is people taking things like vitamin C, vitamin D to kind of boost our natural immune system up.
So let's go through, vitamin C, take your vitamin C to bowel tolerance if you're taking,
what does that
sodium
mean?
ascorbate. Well, that means until you get a loose stool.
Okay.
And then once you get a loose stool, you back off a little
Okay.
bit. That's a
Okay.
sign that you're getting saturated with the vitamin C. They're perfectly safe. I like whole food vitamin C's. I like finding vitamin C in foods.
Like
I
rose
like eating
hips and
kiwis
things like-
yeah.
But the whole foods you're talking about, so eating some citrus maybe?
Well, I like amla and camu. These are all natural fruits and berries that are very high in vitamin C. They come with the rose hips usually. I like things that have citrus bioflavonoids. So because we don't store or make our own vitamin C, there's no risk to overdosing. What you don't want are cheap forms of vitamin C that are maybe derived from corn, because corn in this country is what? Genetically
GMO,
modified.
yeah.
So as we said, your optimal dose of vitamin C is just below the point where your body complains by giving you mild diarrhea. So you make your own adjustments. You do your own biofeedback.
So what should they start with then? They start 2,000, 4,000?
Yeah, I mean 1,000. You know, start as low as you want,
Okay.
and go as high as you want. I think this is a great thing. And remember, vitamin C is responsible for helping us build collagen.
Right.
So it's really a nice anti-aging thing too, because we need that for wrinkle prevention and so forth. Vitamin D, there's a lot of argument about what the right amount of it is, and I still believe, just like I like to get my nutrients from foods, I think there's very few foods that we can get vitamin D from today.
Yeah, so the sun is the natural way.
The
And here
sun.
in Florida, we're kind of lucky, but
We're
if
so
you're up
blessed.
north, now that can be a problem. Going into the fall, you see a lot less sun. It's farther away, certainly.
I say plan a fall vacation in the tropics. Come down to Florida and see
There
us.
you go. Come down to TFNN, folks.
That's right. Get your sun. Find ways to get your sun. You know, that's a whole other thing that I think that tanning beds offered some real benefit to people in northern climates. But you know, it looks like it's an industry that's gotten really attacked.
Gotten whacked a little bit.
And
yeah.
I really believe a lot of that is because, well, whenever people start to see the health benefits of something, sometimes people don't want you to have it. But I want to caution people about taking the wrong forms of vitamin D. And vitamin D, there's 3 fat-soluble nutrients we've taught you guys about. Vitamin D, vitamin A, and vitamin K2. These are all fat-soluble nutrients that really need to be in harmony with each other. A lot of people are taking vitamin D in high doses in not so great forms, but they're not getting their natural forms of vitamin A. If you're going to supplement to build up vitamin A and D, I really like cod liver oil. Green Pastures, Rosita. If you need some help with that, contact
Especially
me.
in the winter,
I'm getting ready to place an order for a case for all my loved ones.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
If you
Got
can
my
get,
babies. My babies walk in and they say, "Nani, fish oil." You know, I mean,
And
how great
ferment
is that?
it if you can,
Yes,
right? Of
yes.
course.
And well, there's a couple great companies, as I said. Green Pastures, Rosita is one, and I just found another one at the Bulletproof Conference, and their name escapes me right now. Something really simple, but those are companies that are actually leaving the natural vitamin A and D that are in the cod livers, as opposed to adding synthetics. So that's something that's important.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I did notice when I changed my lifestyle and changed my diet, the flu kind of went away and never really appeared. I don't think in the last 8 years I've had the flu at all.
Me neither. I don't think I've had the flu.
So I think that the first thing that I think of now is, change your diet, get away from those carbohydrates, the processed ones especially.
Yes.
And any processed food is going to run into problems for you, because this is where all these disruptions, the acid is. High acid foods are always ones that are synthesized and processed.
That's a great point. It really is true. And I will tell you that I notice the people that follow a lifestyle more similar to what we do here, primal, traditional diets. If you do have grains, they're properly sourced and prepared, and they're not excessive, or the sweets or anything like that. You just don't see people getting sick. The immune system. Our immune system is in our guts, so
Yeah.
what we eat greatly affects it. And staying adequately hydrated is so important. So we want to use great forms of water that our bodies can absorb, more like our own body water, structured water, and keeping mineralized. One of the reasons that we chose to create Primal Edge on a foundation of the core minerals and amino acids and the fulvic humic was because we know how critical it is.
Yeah.
It's like our body is the soil.
Yeah,
And the
we said that
soil,
often.
yeah, and having this proper mineralization starts at one thing many people are not aware of is that we can actually make a lot of our vitamins, with exceptions of a few of the water-soluble ones, but we are not able to synthesize minerals, so we need to get them. And
they come from the soil, and you can get them in the Primal Edge, and that's the beautiful thing
about
about
Or they come through
Primal.
plants and animals that eat good soil. We're just concerned that the soil, in many cases, does not have the minerals, and that was why, with a passion, Nico and I wanted to work with the formulators for Primal Edge. So we hope that you'll take advantage of this great supplement that we've made for you. So when we get back, we'll give you a few other things that you can do, treatments that you may or may not be aware of that can really help lessen the effects of the flu. If you are interested in doing a flu prevention protocol using homeopathy, you can contact my office and my colleagues. We can send you something out. So we'll be right back after this short break.
And be sure to pick up our Health Signals newsletter.
Slow, clean, good food, starting out. Good way to start.
That's exactly what you need to do if you want to avoid the flu this year. Start out with the slow, clean, good food, and you'll be okay. We'll be right back.
You've heard Nico de Haan as co-host of Living a Primal Lifestyle, which airs every Friday at noon Eastern Time on TFNN, and would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back to the show. So we're talking about the flu and why we shouldn't be taking the flu shots and why you should be taking the Primal Edge because of all the minerals in there. But there are other minerals that you can take as a supplement separately. And I think it's important to go over some of these. And
I like some of these tips because they go along with what I call natural medicine, natural healing tools you can have on hand to help build your immune system or have in the event of you noticing that you or a loved one are coming down with this. One of the things that really should be in everyone's home medicine cabinet is silver, you know. And
as a supplement.
as a supplement, as a natural medicine. Silver is very awesome for killing germs.
The reason I said that, I didn't want the guys in the chat room to go to the silver bars and start licking the silver bars.
Right. And, there are people that are actually making their own colloidal silvers and stuff at home, and, make sure you know what you're doing with that. But Len Horowitz has a product called Oxy Silver, and he was really a leader in creating a top-rated silver hydrosol, which actually helps the silver be absorbed. It's really very tiny, and so you can actually even order his product for your doctor to give it to you intravenously in the event of becoming very ill. So I thought that was actually interesting. I wasn't aware of that.
I wasn't
But a lot of people nebulize silver. A lot of people take it at the first sight of onset of anything, extremely quick to help build the immune system. People used to put, like in their canteens, they would put a silver nickel.
Yeah.
Or one of the reasons that the elite...
Used to be silver. Now it's not silver anymore.
Our coins, our distributed coins are not real silver.
Yeah.
But going back to eating off of silverware,
okay.
there's silverware that was naturally antibiotic.
Isn't that interesting?
And now we eat off of stainless steel. So maybe everyone should go buy one set of real silver and eat off of it.
I remember polishing that stuff when I was a kid. My mother, all the kids always polished.
And, that was a really good idea for us to eat off of silver. But, so I think that checking out a product like Len Horowitz's Oxy Silver, he had quite a bit of information about how some people have copied silver products and they're not delivering the results that some like his. But in either case, I'm not promoting it because I sell it or I don't, but I think it's important to find a good quality silver product.
Yeah.
The other thing is probiotics.
Yeah, probiotics, something that you take just about every morning, maybe not every morning, but and it's a good thing to recycle these things maybe on a quarterly basis to take different
Switch
ones.
the brands.
Switch the brand. So this could be a time of the year that you may switch the brand if you're taking it every day. A good time because now you have all of a sudden different type of bacteria that comes in there for you.
Well, I like to say food too. And what is one of my favorite foods for probiotics? Sauerkrauts. Fermented veggies.
Yeah.
Kimchi's, fermented veggies. You can get more probiotics in one tiny little teaspoon of these fermented vegetables than you get in a whole bottle of probiotics. So again, it's about using your dollars wisely. And many of these sauerkrauts are fermented cabbages. These are vegetables that go well with the fall food fair.
Sure do.
So get a couple different fermented veggies into your refrigerator and just make that part of your daily diet.
Yep. The next one is iodine. Iodine kills all single-celled organisms and viruses.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing about iodine is they can never become resistant to it. So it really is not only nature's best antibiotic, antifungal, antiviral, and originally, as one of my mentors has taught me, it is actually one of the supreme antioxidants. So you just can't say enough about iodine.
And it says here that if you have enough iodine in your body, it will put 30 times as much iodine in parts of the body exposed to the outside world as it has in the blood.
So it's like building your own fortress. The iodine molecule is intelligent. And one of the things that you can see is that if you apply iodine to your skin, you will rapidly absorb it. And one of the signs that you've really reached some sufficiency is when you put it on your skin and it doesn't disappear. So I
then
think
you've had enough.
And
cool.
many people, we've had lots of shows over the years on iodine. The Japanese people get the equivalent of 12.5 milligrams a day, and based on their diets high in sea vegetables and so forth. And they
need it up there with all the problems with the radiation.
Well, I would think so now. Yes, I would think so. That could be a blessing for them. Yeah. But quite frankly, we all need it because that radiation isn't staying just there. It's circling the globe, and that's one of those things that no one's talking about that really gives me crazy.
Now, here's one I've heard of, but I've never used myself. That's methylene blue.
Correct, and you can find methylene blue. This is something that should be in everyone's health cabinet. Methylene blue has been used for years to kill viruses in our blood supply. So that's interesting to know they use it in the blood supply. And what you do is you get 3% hydrogen peroxide like that you just get at a drugstore. And you get a $1 bottle of methylene blue. Methylene blue can be found in a fish store if you don't find it at your drugstore. And I go to Nevis and and learn a lot about medicine. How would you take care of people if you didn't have all of these things? And this is one of the things we learned about. But you make a tonic of it that you take 4 times a day. In a full glass of water, you add 1 tablespoon of the hydrogen peroxide and a few drops of methylene blue, and you drink it. You know, it will actually turn your tongue and your urine a little blue. But if you're in a pinch, this is an extremely effective remedy against the flu. And we even believe it's a great cleansing for viruses that to be done, you know, maybe on a daily basis. You can do it too. It's very affordable.
Okay, good. Next.
And N-acetylcysteine, this is, or also called NAC. It's a nutritional supplement. It's very natural and inexpensive. It really helps our bodies detoxify. And you can take this 600, 1,200, up to 2,000 milligrams a day. If you have sinus or allergies, actually, I've had a little bit of hay fever. And so
Definitely going around.
Yeah, I mean, I don't feel sick. I just feel a little allergic. But I think after we get some cold snaps, that'll go away. But N-acetylcysteine really helps detoxify. And as we learned earlier today, the flu is really the body's detoxification. So go ahead and help yourself get over these things.
So you start slowly with this, and then as you go, you may be taking 600 milligrams twice a day, but you go up to 2,000, maybe 3,000.
If you've got the flu, don't be afraid of it. It's very safe, you know.
Now, this next one is spiritual awareness, conscious prayer, heartfelt intention, affirmations.
The affirmation to stay healthy.
Yeah, any type of positive thinking, we know, as a placebo, works very, very well. Set your mind on something, and you go for it. And we can do this with health, too. So I think that's really important to let people know that your prayers, your affirmations, your meditation, all plays a real role in your health.
Yeah, this is interesting. The popular belief that the single most important cause for getting the flu is a viral spread through sneezing, you know, where people get infected through a handshake. This is all false and misleading, according to this author. And it's profitable to physicians and the drug industry. The single most important factor is your own mindset, Nico. Most people who love their work or work for God, providing important humanitarian services, they exert self-control over their health status. So when they get sick, they choose it. You know, if people are thinking worn out thoughts, that's when they become susceptible. And so I think it's a really good idea to visualize yourself healthy, visualize yourself able to handle what comes your way, and being strong, and I think that you'll find that.
That's right. And folks, you can't visualize the Health Signals newsletter, so you actually have to go get it.
Yeah, you have to go and subscribe it.
Yeah, so please do that during the break, and Paige and I will be back in a few minutes.
Good stuff.
Number here is 877-927-6648. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to the Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
And welcome back. According to an online source, an estimated 25 to 50 million cases of the flu are reported annually in the United States, leading to 150,000 hospitalizations, 30 to 40,000 deaths yearly. And if you spread these figures over the rest of the world, then we got about 3 to 5 million cases of the flu, with maybe 300 to 500,000 people dying annually from it. Of course, we're told to improve our hygiene, lots of washing, maybe put a mask over your face. We see that often. These are some things that we're told to do. Is that any good?
Well, I'm sure that it is, but we got to look at a little deeper, is what we're saying. Look a little deeper. And although flu-related deaths can result from pneumonia and from exacerbations of cardiopulmonary conditions and other chronic diseases. In other words, people were already sick with other things.
Or maybe just a condition of something else.
Right. The death of older adults accounts for more than 90% of the deaths attributed to pneumonia and influenza. So these older people most likely are already in a chronic illness situation. They've been under stress.
Yeah.
Their immune systems have been stressed.
And maybe young children have that same thing. They're already sick, and now we get into flu seasons. Other children are around. You can pass it around easily, and now you're in trouble.
But the author here says that these statements are misleading, the idea about improvements in hygiene and all of these things. He says the larger truth is the aforementioned factors, including personal, medical, geopolitical, pharmaceutical, and biospiritual negligence. So again, it's about the whole mindset of what's going on with us here.
And as we discussed earlier, Paige, it really starts with the food. I mean, you really have to straighten out your diet. If you're going into flu season, now is the perfect time to change and do away with those processed foods and do away with those carbohydrates that are killing you. Eat your vegetables and your fruits if you want to, but, start your diet off right with whole food, local food, seasonal food.
Absolutely. And so one of the things that concerned me is I was in a Target the other day and I saw the checkout girl, asking this man in his 80s, have you had your flu shot today? And I thought, who are you to be asking this person? I actually went to the manager and I just said, well, since when did Target start pushing flu shots? And she said, since CVS became our pharmacy inside.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
that's Walmart. That's also, all these different companies are getting on the bandwagon here because they're all merging.
Yeah, but so listen to this. So this is a comment here. So most of the casualties and fatalities related to the flu come from people who were vaccinated previously. Vaccinations damage natural immunity against the flu and every other disease considered infectious, which, quite frankly, some of the chronic diseases are low-grade infections.
Yeah.
The elderly, for instance, are not made more frail exclusively from age. Greater number of vaccinations over time, every year, signing up for those shots, the greater chance of immune system exhaustion and disease predisposition. Flu shots accepted by the elderly, according to reputable sources, may be causing as many as 60% of geriatric patients to get the flu or worse, succumb to secondary diseases caused by overwhelmed immunity and drug toxicity. And that's what breaks my heart.
You know, we often talk about children having so many shots in the beginning, 30, 40, maybe 60 by the time they get into school. But the yearly shots of the flu...
These adults are getting these.
Yeah.
I say primarily, it seems that it's the older adults because they live in fear of getting this. But if they understood what this is doing, and if they perhaps chose a natural immune building homeopathic way that's gentle on the immune system, that educates the immune system and naturally builds immunity, they might find that they actually become stronger.
Yeah. And in fact, people that we talk to who are doing the same thing we all say pretty much the same thing. We don't get our colds, we don't get our allergies as badly, and we don't get the flu anymore, and that's sure. But I'd really like to go over some of the symptoms of the flu so people really can recognize that it may be coming on or not.
And remember, onset is huge. At the onset, if you act aggressively, one of the things that wasn't mentioned is vitamin A. Remember we mentioned vitamin D?
Yeah.
A couple of protocols that I like to use with my family is at the onset, those fat-soluble vitamins get pumped in, and vitamin A in high dose, and people were told to be fearful of vitamin A. That's if you were using a synthetic form of vitamin A day in, day out at a very high rate. But, I mean, even if you use a synthetic, you can turn something around very quickly. So, yeah, let's go through these symptoms. Fever. Yeah. Burn up microbes associated with infections. I mean, this is what I like. Listen to what we're going to tell you. These are the symptoms, but these symptoms mean the following. It means that your body is burning up the microbes associated with the infection. And what do we do to these fevers?
We try to get them down.
We try to suppress them.
Suppress them, yeah. So,
not smart.
No, let it run its course.
Let it run. Let the body heat up so that the white blood cells can make that, can be created to create that army to kill those microbes.
Well, I just had this vision of being in bed. I was a kid, and my mother coming to me and checking me and realizing that I was having a fever, and she would say, "That's good. That's good." I remember.
See, what happened to all that old wisdom?
Yeah.
It got corrupted as people started to realize there was a lot of money to be made in selling these over-the-counter fever reducers, and now we're reducing our babies' fevers and our fevers. In fact, it's a sign of your health.
Yeah,
if you
I remember
can
my
spike a
mother
little
saying
fever.
to my father, "He's sweating now. He's getting better."
Right.
So,
And if someone has a fever, you can put them in a cool bath. You can put some essential oils on them. You can help make them more comfortable with a cool rag, but let the body create that fever. Coughing and sneezing, what does it mean? It means you're expelling toxic mucus, mostly acquired from conventional processed dairy products and other microbes.
Yeah, for sure. Sweating, thing I was just talking about, that helps detoxify the body through your sweat glands. So when you start sweating, you got that fever, the things are being eliminated for you. It's a beautiful thing.
Right, and these are all things that somehow or another we've been taught to view these. We talk about medicine treats the symptoms. Well, we don't want to treat the symptoms. We want the symptoms to be there to tell us where we are in the process.
Yep.
Headache comes about because you're lacking oxygen and adequate hydration to your brain in your head and your neck. Drink water.
And my mother had a nice recipe for headaches along. She used a type of perfume that she can only get in Holland. I think it was called 7777 or something. And she always used it if you had a headache. She would put it on there underneath your nose a little bit, or maybe on top of your head, and the smell of that would help the headaches.
Maybe it had some peppermints in it.
It's possible. I don't remember, but
peppermint and lemongrass are awesome for a headache. Of course, you don't want to get them too close to your eyes, but you can put them in your temples. I like to say put it into the hair here, put it up here, put it under the nose, peppermint.
So other things that come along with this are muscle aches and pains.
And that's really a sign of intoxication, acidification, lacking hydration, and oxygenation. So really the aches are, the body is saying, I'm acidic and I need some help getting rid of this.
Yeah, and fatigue, of course, goes along with it because you're forcing your body into a state of repair. So your fatigue, you say, it forces you to lay down and relax.
What does the dog do when they don't feel good? They go find a quiet spot.
They do
don't
that anyway.
eat. Yeah, they usually don't eat. Remember, the less you eat when you're sick, the better, because then the body doesn't have to use its digestive enzymes digesting food. It can use the enzymes proteolytically in between to help clear things out.
Yeah, and then you got the other two things are nausea which...
Time to fast and stop poisoning yourself.
Yeah,
Again, because our biggest insult to our immune system comes through microbes through our food.
Yeah, and then the last thing is just generally not feeling good.
Right.
Yeah.
Time to rest and get well. But it's time for us to take a short break. So we'll be right back for our last segment or so.
And the number here is 877-927-6648. Pick us some Primal Edge, and see you in a minute.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
No matter where you're listening to TFNN programming, you can always access your favorite shows on demand through TFNN.com. TFNN airs live programming every market day from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. Eastern, and you can view each program by accessing Tiger TV through our homepage. We even have an easy link for all mobile devices, including iPhones, iPads, and Android devices, located in the top right-hand corner of the TFNN homepage. You can use your smartphone to view Tiger TV. But if you don't have a connection that can keep up with streaming live video, then you can simply visit TFNN.mobi in the browser of your smartphone for live streaming audio of all our programs. The mission of TFNN is to educate our audience directly and interactively through our interactive website and call-in talk shows. TFNN is able to teach all levels of investors the technical skills needed to trade in today's marketplace. In order to get the best information possible, TFNN has assembled the most respected financial minds in the country to provide the most current news and comprehensive advice available. TFNN.com, educating investors. Join John Logan as he teaches you trading techniques utilizing the TAS Profile Scanner. The Global Market Pulse, next on TFNN.
And welcome back. So I think one of the things that we got out of this is that we need to really focus on food. Sure, we can take our supplements. I think that's important, but there's a lot of things in food that will help you, so stay away from the bad food. But
and sometimes supplements are actually supplementary food, just available because we can't get access to it all. But I thought it was interesting to share this article because, it's for research-backed ways to build your immune system, and it kind of goes along with the previous article that we were discussing. And, a lot of times people during this time of year, it's the whole change in the lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you're not getting out as much if you live up north, you're inside more,
right.
and just life is a little more stressful dealing with the cold and everything.
Yeah, but this time of year, of course, what changes too is the food.
It really does, and you have that yearning for
Yes.
those comforting, warming...
Like the yams and the pumpkins, and this is what I think of. You're thinking of carrots and...
the root vegetables.
The root vegetables,
the
turnips.
Beets, think about it, like onions are really loaded with vitamin C. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, and onions and quercetin, the bioflavonoids that really enhance the respiratory tract.
Yeah, so it just makes a lot of sense. We're out of the season with the fruits, and now we're going into the season where the roots are being prominent, because the rest of the plant is really pretty much gone when you're talking about Thanksgiving being over and going into Turkey Day and things like that.
Right. So, we've talked about the importance of vitamin C, and yes, vitamin C is so important. But here are some 4 other little tips that kind of touched on some of the stuff we hit before, but they're worth repeating. Focus on your food and not your supplements. And although vitamin C is important, making your consumption of fruits high important, but recent research has discovered that vitamins A and D are just as pertinent in the process.
And where do you find those things?
Well, you find those typically in your fat-based foods, your sea animals and your grass-fed butter, where the cows eat the grass,
right.
And then they create the vitamins A and D.
In a much better form, easier to digest for us.
Right. And, even in this article, they discuss, eating the yellow-orange carotenoid-rich vegetables. Keep in mind, though, that the beta-carotene, the carotenoids, do not always make the conversion into the vitamin A we get through, and liver is another organ meats is a great place for the vitamin A.
Right.
So, but on the vegetable side, your golden, yellow, red, yams, carrots, winter squash are all really good and rich in vitamin A.
Now, there's something else that happens during this time of year, because it's getting colder, so we tend to shut the doors and we start putting on the heat. And this in itself can cause problems.
I think this is a great tip. We get concerned. We need to be mindful of allergens, because we've been thinking about, like, as I mentioned, we've had a little fall bloom or something, ragweed blooming here. And we think we're free of the seasonal allergies in the winter, but it's not, because in fact, with the colder months and the onset of winter, you spend more time indoors, and you're subject to dust, dander, pollen, and mold, all of which can irritate the respiratory tract, and then you come down with something.
Probably fixing some of that things, like getting your ductwork cleaned up, installing some kind of oxidation type of thing in your furnace that can get
like a HEPA filter or
like
something
a HEPA
to
filter,
remove.
those type of things.
Upgrade those filters. When you change your monthly filters, kick it up a notch and get the HEPA that actually screens against more
One thing
of the
my
allergens.
mother used to do in the morning too is, no matter how cold it was, in Canada we did this, they would open all the windows in the bedrooms and air that thing out, close the doors, and that would be open like that for 3 or 4 hours, and then they would come back and shut them later on.
That's a really great tip, and I sort of have a vision of that happening too. Yeah. These little things that our grandparents did are lost arts. I really like sharing those, and we like sharing information with you all.
Thanks for sticking around, folks.
I hope you have a wonderful day.
See you next time.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.